Oh, hi there, ladies and gentlemen. 'Tis I, Michael A. Grimm, aka the Multi-Voice. I'm many voices, but one opinion. And today it is October, ladies and gentlemen, because, and you know what that means. Well, besides the 14th, where my 10th year anniversary audio drama based on my first comic book I ever reviewed ever since I started my channel, it's going to be premiering on October 14th. But today it is Multi-Voice-Oween. And I'm going to start out with a bit of an announcement, ladies and gentlemen. Working on this October, there's going to be a certain audio based from the comics. Since I did the one about the Justice League and the Looney Tunes, I decided to continue by finding something for me to find. There was a certain superhero that I wanted to get the graphic novel, and I finally got it. I got the graphic novel of Madman, and I decided to do an audio series adaptation based from this. So, and for those of you who don't know, a little history. Created by a full family, Madman was created by Michael Allred and his lovely wife Laura Allred, and also his brother Han Allred. Madman was actually a character that Michael Allred pretty much absorbed himself into this character, and I found his character very interesting. And this is what Madman looks like in the comics. And I know some of you are saying that he kind of resembles Freakazoid, but it's not Freakazoid. Hell, even the comic book itself is nothing like Freakazoid. I mean, Freakazoid was intended for kids. This one's intended for, well, actually, this comic book is intended for teenagers. So it's more like PG-13. And one thing I also noticed that when Michael Allred created Madman, he made a deal with there was one comic book called the Zap Comics, but that was short-lived, but also made a deal with Dark Horse Comics. And how the story goes, it's about a certain man who calls himself Madman, but his real name is Frank Einstein, and this is what Frank looks like without the mask. And the reason why he looks so bluish pale and look like he had scars, well, unlike other superheroes, this character is a Frankenstein monster. That's right, this character is a Frankenstein monster. And he doesn't around going like, fire bad, bread good. No. Frank, he acts more like how the Frankenstein monster from Mary Shelley's novel is like. And I know what you're thinking. His name is Frank Einstein, and he's like a Frankenstein monster. Well, actually, it was the scientist who brought him to life, who goes by the name of Dr. Boyford. Now, Dr. Boyford, he named him Frank Einstein because he was a big fan of both Frank Sinatra and Albert Einstein. That's why he gave him the name Frank Einstein. Now, Frank started out, from the beginning, he had a car accident. And he died from a car accident crash that he suffered. And they brought his body to Dr. Boyford. And therefore, Dr. Boyford Frankensteined him. He brought him to life with electricity. And instead of what Dr. Frankenstein did, he abandoned him because he couldn't stand aside of him. Dr. Boyford stayed with him and became like a father for him. He taught him how to read and write, and also teach him a lot of things. And all of a sudden, there is this awful character, this horrible bad guy who goes by the name of Mr. Monstrid. One thing Monstrid wants to get is the secrets from Dr. Boyford and another scientist named Dr. Flem, which I'm going to get to soon. So, what Monstrid did is he ran over Dr. Dr. Boyford, and Dr. Boyford told Madman that he needs to find Dr. Flem because he's the only one who would help revive him. And while he's doing exactly what the doctor told Frank to do, he also pawns over a certain love interest, which I knew that they based her out of Laura Allred, except her name is Joe Lambert. Now, Joe Lambert is the most beautiful woman and very kind and understanding, and believe it or not, Frank thinks he looks so ugly and grotesque that she would never love him because of his appearance. But Laura doesn't care. She loves him for who he is. I mean, hell, he even met her before he wore the costume. So pretty much, he fell in love with him the first time he saw him, and he fell in love with her the first time he saw her. So that there's a perfect girl. And a little known fact, in my audio, my dear friend Laura Williams is going to be doing the voice of Joe. Ain't that interesting? My name is Michael. The creator name is Michael. And I'm doing the voice of Madman, aka Frank Einstein, while Laura Williams is doing the voice of the love interest Joe, which Mike Allred's wife is Laura. What are the odds, huh? But of course, I know that Laura herself, she has a fiance, so. But anyway, she's always been a great voice actress, and I could never ask a better voice actress than her. I mean, she's always been willing and determined to do some voice acting, and I'm hoping I would do an interview with her on my StreamYard. And I'm always been like a dear and good friend. I've been like a big brother to her. Every time she goes through hard times, she's more than welcome to call me anytime. But anyway, back to the story. Now, even though Madman had to go all the way to a place called Buzztown to find Dr. Flem, he ended up in a certain situation that he has to get involved in. He meets this fella who goes by the name of Randolph Thomas. And Randolph Thomas, he killed his wife. I mean, I kid you not, he killed his wife. And what he's planning to do next is that he is also planning to kill the mayor of the town, Mayor Tyler. So now him looking for Dr. Flem have to wait. He has to save the mayor from Randolph. And that's in episode 1. Yeah, that's the first one I'm working on. And believe it or not, folks, the first episode, I've done the script, and I got all the voices, all the lines from everybody who's going to be doing episode 1. And then I'm going to be rounding up some more people for episode 2 I'm going to work on. Since episode 1, he had to go save Mayor Tyler against Randolph. And I don't want to spoil it for you folks. Now let's get to episode 2. Now I already did the script, but the story in this one, Madman has to go all the way to meet Dr. Flem. And it turns out that Dr. Flem, he was infected because he made he made a bunch of clones of himself, but with a minor problem. All of his clones are defected. I mean, they were covered with warts and bumps all over their body. And when they bit him in the leg, he starts getting infected. So the only thing he had to do is he has to cut off his head to stop the infection. And of course, Madman has to keep his head alive in a fishbowl while they had to find all the clones and trying to find a cure to get rid of all the bumps and warts all over his body so they could find a perfect body for Dr. Flem to have. And while Madman was going around trying to go through all those clones, he come across a girl who got kidnapped by those clones, but he saved her out of the mines because those clones were hiding in the mines. And the girl that they kidnapped, her name is Bonnie. Now, Bonnie, she was the mayor's niece, the same mayor that Madman had to save. So he saved her, but she's traumatized, but she's willing to help out and even starting to like Dr. Flem. And while searching, he also meet another person who's also a personal assistant to Dr. Flem. Her name is Gale. Now, I know some of you are wondering, why is she wrapped in bandages like the Invisible Man? Well, he touched her hand and he saw this space face. That means her entire body looks like a whole galaxy. And that's Gale for you. But she's there to help Madman because she's been watching him and knew that he can be trusted. So now, Madman, Dr. Flem, Bonnie, and Gale are going to find the perfect infected clone, and try to cure all the bumps and everything in order to find a perfect body for Flem. And then I also finished the script of episode 3. Yeah, I decided to finish 3 scripts. I mean, take 3 from the book into a script and make 3 episodes until I'm ready to make more episodes based from this book. And I went through the issues in this book. In this book, it's like 15 episodes. So that's going to be a lot for me to take, so that's why I'm doing it 3 at a time. Kind of like what I did my marathon review on Planetarium. On the Planetary, I mean. Anyway, on episode 3, Flem and Frank went back to Snap City, because that's where he usually is from, Snap City, to find Dr. Boyford and revived him, bring him back to life, because only Dr. Flem knows how to bring him back to life after that car accident. And notice that Monstrid and his goons kidnapped Joe and trying to find the last secrets that Boyford kept in his journal, which Frank destroyed. And while in the process, while he's dealing against Monstrid, he shows up in a circus run by Edgar Hayworth, the devilish looking ringmaster, who is a good guy. He's just a ringmaster in a circus. And of course, throughout the rest of the issues, he's going to be meeting 2 assistant robots by Flem named Maury and Warren. Now, after the whole deal with Monstrid and the circus, throughout the rest of the issues I have here in my hand, he's going to be meeting other characters along the way. Like he's going to meet Astro Boy, who's like a full-grown version of Astro Man, Astro Boy, except this Astro Man thinks he's Frank. And he also has a robot girlfriend who's trying to kill Joe. I like that. And they also come across an alien who goes by the name of Mott. And Mott, the alien here, the only reason, his purpose why he ended up on Earth is he wants to make friends. So he shows up going like, "I am Mott from another planet. Will you be my friend?" And of course, he also meet 2 characters, which I even discovered they made the movie of. They meet Dean Krepp and Mike Mattress, And who those guys are? Well, they are the G-Men from Hell. That's right, the same G-Men from Hell from the movie they made back in 2000s. What? You guys haven't known about it? Didn't even know about the G-Men from Hell? I think I'm going to review it. Note to self, review G-Men from Hell. That's going to be my next review, folks. So don't worry. And for those of you who don't know who the G-Men from Hell are, they were once federal agents who got gunned down by a drive-by shooting, and somehow their soul ended up in hell, so they escape from hell and work as private eyes to do some more good deeds so they can go to heaven when they're going to die again. So they're pretty much federal agents from hell. And they also meet another character, which I can tell that Michael Allred based his character out of Chung Young Fat from one of John Woo's movies. His name was Chu Skip Wong, agent of Tri-Eye. And he's supposed to be like a calm, cool Chinese secret agent. And also he meets other characters from he also meets other characters from the Dark Horse universe. He comes across Big Boy here without Rusty. Big Boy is actually a guy who wears a giant mech suit who battles against kaiju monsters. Except this time he shows up to help Madman against a bad guy who's trying to create problems. A big slime muck monster who calls himself Puke. Puke? Seriously? And also one of the issues I have in my book, he also crosses over with Hellboy. And you already know Hellboy, I already talked about him last time. And also, one of the issues I don't have is, of course, my book here is episode 1. Yeah, episode 1. Volume 1, actually. Volume 2, Madman's going to cross over to one of the most popular DC superheroes, Superman. That's right, the Man of Steel's gonna cross over with Madman in the Dark Horse universe. This might be interesting. More interesting than that Frankenstein character who's a member of the Creature Commandos. And believe it or not, in the later issues, I guess Madman is no longer part of Dark Horse, so now he is part of Image, and Madman crossover with other characters in the later issues I don't have, and I wish I did. He's gonna meet Savage Dragon, a dragon-like alien who becomes a police officer, he becomes a member of the NYPD. Invincible, the sort of Superman-ish kind of superhero genre. Except Invincible is part human, part alien, so he's struggling between going by the laws by his alien side while being more humanity, knowing what's right. And also, they even did a spin-off because Madman helped formed a group of deformed, mutated people, and they call themselves the Atomics. And this is my review. This is my announcement for the day. But right now, I'm just taking this book and make an audio series out of it because Mr. Allred and Mrs. Allred, if you are watching this video, I hope you would appreciate what I'm doing here because I want your character to be heard, and that's why I'm doing an audio adaptation based on these books. So I hope you're going to enjoy it as more as me doing the voice because I'm doing some of the side characters, but my main voice I'll be doing Frank Einstein, aka Madman. Because I decided to do the voice of him because, he's a little crazy, a little wacky, but he's also serious, and, the character speaks to me. And I sympathize with this character a lot. So I am willing to do my part playing this character. Anyway, for those of you who likes my talk about Madman, please leave a comment down below, hit like and subscribe for more. And stay tuned for my review of the G-Men from Hell. And happy Halloween, everybody. I hope you guys would stay tuned for my audio adaptation of Justice League and the Looney Tunes. And I'm the Multi-Voice Reviewer. I remembered so I can jog your memory.